said, or another one of these.
Oh, that certainly didn't take place. Oh, I laid out very clearly that our timeline to achieve success is June. We laid out all the steps that need to happen. I talked about the passion of San Diego fans. I talked about the fact that San Diego's been proud to be in the NFL family for 50 years, and we're looking forward to the next 50. It's part of the fabric of who we are in San Diego. On a Sunday afternoon, we're rooting for the Chargers.
Did you ask them to play with your timeline? Look, we can't get this done until June.
Oh, we laid that out very clearly. June is our opportunity to get it.
Was it just assumed you were always talking about the Chargers? Was there any thought to a future without the Chargers? And just
all of our
possibly
discussions focused on the Chargers
How you
today.
doing? How's it going?
We asked any.
The June is too late.
Look, timing is an issue that only they can answer. And we said very clearly, here's all the steps that we can do to achieve success. Put it all out there. The fact that you have city and the county working together, I think they clearly understood that. And obviously it's going to be a decision of the owners. But I think today's session allowed them to hear directly from us in San Diego all of the steps that we've been taking, and to hear directly from me as mayor our commitment to get this done.
Did they say June's okay?
Oh, no decisions were made on timing or anything of that nature.
Mr. Mayor, why was it important for them to hear directly from you?
Because I think they were looking to see, what is the commitment level in San Diego? What is the art of the possible? What has been done, and what are the steps that remain to be done? And I've been very open about that. We've been very transparent. We've put all of our timing and our financing out there because that's the way you achieve success. And I talked a lot about in there today that when we work together, we can achieve this success. I pointed to the fact that when the city came together and we built Petco Park about a decade ago, that worked for San Diego. We're going to be proud to host the All-Star Game coming up here next year. I talk about the opportunity for this to be a first-class facility, not just for the Chargers, but for Super Bowls and for decades to come.
Do you sense any sort of shift in San Diego's favor, for overtime?
Okay, but I wouldn't. It's hard to characterize. All I can tell you is the discussion today was very open. There was a lot of good questions on timing. There was I think a receptiveness to hearing directly from us about the steps that we've taken and the steps that we're continuing to take.
Was there any dialogue with Dean? Did he ask any questions?
Oh, he did not answer any questions.
Did you learn anything?
No, it was very clear to me. All of the owners in the room today were very engaged in this process, have given it a lot of thought. And so I think today was a very important part of this ongoing decision to hear directly from San Diego.
Can you tell me about the questions you were asked?
Yeah, I mean, they centered around timing. They centered around environmental impact.
What do you mean timing? What was the question?
In terms of our ability, what steps need to be taken, how would a June ballot work? We talked about the work that we've already done, and we spent a fair amount. We spent a time on our financing plan as well, the work that we've been doing with Citibank, and there was some very positive comments about the design of the stadium, which I'm biased, but I think it's a pretty spectacular building that we have the ability to do.
Did you feel that any of those questions were particularly negative or pointed?
I think that all of the questions were very open. They were very direct, and I think genuinely trying to get a sense of the steps, as I said, that we've taken, the steps that we are taking, and I appreciated the dialogue. I think it's probably the most important part of the presentation, and any presentation, is when you have a chance to talk back and forth and have them hear from me directly as mayor.
Mr. Mayor, when you say the questions were direct, can you give us an example?
Oh, just in terms of what are the steps that you have to take for a June election? What are the steps that you've taken on the environmental impact report? What does the governor's ruling mean? All very, great questions. A lot of them not surprising, and ones that we were ready for.
Were there concerns regarding the idea that the environmental impact report will be challenged in court? Did anybody bring that up?
No, I talked about the steps that we have taken to minimize risk. While you can never take all risk out of any equation, I said, here's the steps that we've done. Here's the work that we've done on the IR. Here's what the governor's office has done. And so I think it was very important for them to hear that directly from us about, as I said, not only what we've done, but how we see the next weeks and months
So the
after that.
project qualifies for Governor Brown's leadership designation.
it allows for AB 900 in terms of expedited environmental review.
That's what I'm referring to.
Do you think
Thank
this
you,
will
guys.
go to a vote on the NFL side before it gets to that?
You know, it's the NFL, obviously, they're in charge of their timeline. What they heard I think, you know, as I said, you know, today, we've got, you know, well, we have a good group of us here today, our strong team. Back in San Diego, right now, there's, you know, hundreds of thousands of fans that are committed to keeping the NFL and keeping the Chargers in San Diego right where they belong. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Mr. Mayor. Thank you, sir. Thank you.